Hello, I hope everybody's having a great day. My name is Dr. Heather Moore. Tonight we're going to go over pain between the elbow and the shoulder. So believe it or not, this is not something that is very easily diagnosed, but it is something that's extremely common. It's a very common referral spot to have pain somewhere in this vicinity. So as everything, it's generally not cut and dry. You really should get it looked at by a medical professional. If you need to come in for a free consultation, we do offer those. All you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898. So it is a little bit more of a complicated issue, but it is something that comes in a lot. It is something we treat a lot. It is a symptom that comes in a lot, so it's worth us going over. So what is it? So what could it be? So it could be a number of things, of course, as all my answers usually are. I know everyone wants the black and white picture of exactly what this could be, but generally it's not black and white. The easiest thing it could be is a deltoid strain, or a deltoid, or you worked your deltoids too hard, or you worked your bicep too hard. That's generally like a muscle soreness. So you'll feel it more like right here or right here. Now, in order for you to kind of say, oh, it's just a deltoid strain, or it's just soreness from working out, you need to have worked that muscle out 24 to 48 hours prior to feeling that. So if you didn't really work out the muscle, or you went for a run and didn't actually do any arms, or it wasn't arms day, or it wasn't specifically deltoid day or biceps day, it's not that, all right? So don't be quick to just be like, whew, all right, it's gonna be a deltoid strain. I watched a YouTube video, it said it was a bicep, I was just sore from working out. And you didn't specifically work arms, you didn't specifically work your biceps or your deltoids or anything where you're doing this type of motion or this type of motion, it is not from that. So don't easily dismiss it, but it is part of the reason that you could have that pain in between here. So I want to make sure that we cover that, although we never actually see that in here. If you have pain between here and here, it's generally something else. So what else could it be? So it could be a referral pain. So we talk about this a lot of our other videos. And if you're not familiar with our other videos, go to our YouTube channel, Total Performance Physical Therapy. You're going to find a whole host of videos on all different topics. But on the other videos that we talk about, you're going to see that it can be referral pain. And referral pain is very common. What is referral pain? Referral pain means that the pain, there's nothing really going on here that's wrong. It's being referred from here. So when you have pain here and it's being a referred pain, it's usually coming from one of the muscles in the rotator cuff, usually like your supraspinatus, which is right here. So this sometimes will get pinched, this will sometimes will get aggravated, and it will actually refer pain down here. I know a lot of people, as I start touching their arm or I move it around, it's like, no, the pain's not there, it's here. This is what we call referred pain. It can be a rotator cuff tear, it can be a rotator cuff strain, it could be rotator cuff tendonitis. Again, don't get worried if you hear the word rotator cuff tear, tendonitis. It doesn't often require surgery. And honestly, the faster you get in here and the faster you get it resolved, the less likely it is to need or require surgery. Most often, the things we see requiring surgery when it comes to the shoulder, things were let go for years. So just understand that the longer you wait because you're too afraid to come in, because you're too afraid it's going to be the worst, it's going to be the worst when you finally come in. So come in when it starts to hurt. But that referred pain can come from that upper trap right in here, that supraspinatus area, that rotator cuff, maybe even down into here. What happens is it can get pinched as it comes through the tunnel. It comes through a little tunnel right through there. It can get pinched. It can start to refer down to your in between here somewhere. And I say this as a general area because there is no specific area that people say it hurts right here. Okay, generally when you have a referred pain or pain in between your elbow and your shoulder, it's somewhere in here. I've seen it described a million different ways. I've seen a million different things pointed to it. I'm not talking about pain in the elbow, and I'm not talking about pain in the shoulder. Okay, I'm talking about this area in here. It could be front, back, whatever, but this is the area I'm discussing. So we've got one, it could be a muscle strain, or muscle just overdoing it, or it could be that referred pain. It could also be a nerve issue. So we often talk about nerves and how they are coming out of the neck and can affect everything down your arm. What can happen is it can be an irritation of a nerve. So as we sit in poor posture, something like this, looking at our phone, looking at our laptop, that you're actually herniating your disc. You're actually herniating a disc in your neck. And while you're able to do this for some amount of time, you can't do it forever. So the longer we do it, the longer the disc is herniated, the more likely you are irritating a nerve. And you're gonna get that pain down into here. Sometimes you'll get burning, sometimes you'll get numbness, but it's gonna just feel the pain here. Again, you're not gonna feel pain in your neck, you're not really gonna feel pain in your shoulder, you're just gonna have this like, I wanna rub this, I wanna squeeze this. I see a lot of this going on when people with pain in between their elbow and their shoulder come in. It's a lot of rubbing, it's right here. This isn't where the pain's happening. The nerve is traveling down from your neck, or it could be coming, the nerve could be entrapped somewhere in your shoulder. But either way, you're getting that numbness, you're getting that burning, you're getting that tingling into that arm. It also could be an impingement syndrome. It could be a shoulder problem. So we talked about the rotator cuff. This kind of piggybacks that. It can be some sort of impingement syndrome where some of the muscles of the rotator cuff are getting caught. They're getting stuck as you move up. There's a little tunnel there, and they're actually getting squeezed and pinched as you move your arm. So that could be another reason why you're getting that, but that really goes hand in hand with that rotator cuff, either irritation or tear. The impingement, as you move your arm, you're gonna feel it radiate down. A lot of times when you have impingement, you're actually gonna feel it pinching though, and then radiating down. Whereas opposed to the other things that we talked about, you're just gonna feel it in this area. You're not really gonna feel pain through here and all the way down the arm. You're just gonna feel pain here. So what do you do? What happens when you have this mysterious pain and you don't know what it is? I highly recommend getting it checked out. Call our office, 215-997-9898. We'll give you a free consultation so you can figure out where it's coming from. But what you want to start with is your posture. And I know that if you watch my videos, you know how much we talk about posture. I harp on it all the time. I mean, it is that important. And you know, when I was little, we got told to sit up straight just because we were slouching in these terrible desk chairs at school. It is so important now because so many people are tied to devices and so many people are tied to computers that aren't set up correctly. So every time you're sitting like this, you're literally herniating a disc. You're herniating discs in your back, in your thoracic spine, and in your neck. So if you're sitting like this on your phone, you're sitting like this at your laptop or your computer, you're actually just herniating your disc, and you're doing it over time. So it's not like you're gonna, pop a disc when you're just sitting there. Over time, it may happen. So you have to really be careful of that posture. And as you sit like this, you're compressing those muscles. All of your muscles that are coming out here are wind up being irritated. Your muscles only have certain little grooves and certain little spaces to move through. So it's really important that you keep the spaces where they need to be. When you roll your shoulders forward and you're like this, you close off all the spaces, which means your muscles are getting compressed, which means your muscles can be tearing, which means your muscles can be getting strained. So the first thing you want to do is correct your posture. How do you do that? You roll your shoulders up, back, and drop them down. This is a very hard posture to maintain if you have not tried it before. A lot of times what you're going to find is you're going to check your shoulders and they're going to be way up here. So you want to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed and drop down. You do not want to do this. You don't want to plaster your shoulders back. Okay, that's overcorrecting and leads to other problems. So standing at attention is not the way to do it. Roll your shoulders up, back, and drop them down. That's the first thing that you want to do. The second thing you want to do is if you are able to do a little gentle strengthening, you can certainly do that. Again, if it's aggravating to you, you don't want to do that. So what you can do is you can do a little rotator cuff strengthening. You can do some external rotation, which is just moving your shoulder out like this. Okay, you can lay on your side and do this, or you can resist. You can put your hand at the door and do this and just hold it. Nice and easy. Again, if that irritates you, you want to stop doing that. What you don't want to do with this is concentrate on this. I know that sounds weird because that's where it hurts. But you don't want to ice this. You don't want to rub this. I see all this. I see tiger balm and whatever else goes on here. This is not, doing anything here is not going to solve anything because that's not where the problem is. You want to avoid really worrying about here. You want to work on more of your neck. You want to work on more of your shoulder. Doing neck rolls in the shower when you have a nice hot shower is going to help open up a lot of those spaces. It's going to help open up this side right here, if that's where the pain is going down. It's going to help loosen up those nerves. I take the minute in the shower just to do some neck rolls, especially when I wake up in the morning. I'm super stiff from the night before. You want to make sure that you just keep that range of motion as much as you can. And when you do that in the shower and you use that warm water to help just loosen you up and you take this range of motion, a lot of times you can find some kinks or some problems, and that could be where it's coming from. So those three things really are where I would start with this. But like I said before, it's important that you get that diagnosed because, again, this pain here has nothing to do. It's not from here. It's from up here, and you've got to figure out where it's coming from. And I can't tell you over video exactly where it is when you're dealing with referred pain. I got to get my hands on you. We got to check things out. So it's not a very easy cut and dry situation. If you are experiencing pain in your neck or your shoulder and you want a free consultation with a doctor of physical therapy, all you have to do is call our office at 215-997-9898 and we'd be happy to get you in. Thanks and have a good night.